Hi everyone, this video is going to be a guide on how to get started and get the most out of Project View Enhanced. So, first of all, you will need to have installed the plugin in your project from the Asset Store, and once that's done, you can right click here in the Project View and go to the Project View Enhanced submenu to get to all the options. You can also access these options in Project Settings, again under Project View Enhanced, plus a few additional ones to do with column sizing. We'll come back to those. Okay, let's get started. Let's add some presentability to our folders. Right click on plugins, go to folder style, and let's give it a nice icon by clicking here. I like this gold one. Let's go with that. Not bad. And you can see it in the left and the right view, and you can see it regardless of layout. Let's go back. Okay, let's do a little more. Let's give the label a color. Click in here, choose any color we like. We can see a preview, save it, and we can see what it looks like here. Not bad, but a little ugly. Those two colors don't go together that well. Let's go back into the style. Now, there's a helpful button here, match icon. If we click this, a color is automatically chosen that matches the icon. This will work for any of the icons in here, so just randomly, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. It fits with it, no worries. But let's go back to gold. I like gold. And let's do something else. Let's change the style of the label. Let's make it bold. There we go, nice and bold. Okay, let's expand it. Something missing. It's not applying to the subfolders. Easy to fix. Back into the style and tick recursive. And now it applies. Looking pretty good. Okay, let's say we want to make the Project View Enhanced folder stand out. Okay, let's create another style against that. Tick icon, click the drop down, let's make it red, match the label, and we'll do something new with this one. Let's add a background. We have a few to choose from. This one usually looks pretty good. And we can match the icon color here as well. Or choose any that we please. If we want to get crazy, we can see it updating over there in the preview. But I would rather match the icon. Let's make that recursive as well. Not bad. We can see it underneath here. Now, two things to point out here. Number one, styles created from the project view exist against specific folders. So, the yellow style exists against the plugins folder. That's where we created it. Even though it's applying against these subfolders, it doesn't actually exist against them. That's why if I right click Wearsoft and go folder style, we don't see any style yet, because this is creating a style specific for that folder. Now, when styles are deeper down in a hierarchy, as the Project View Enhanced style is, they override anything that's higher up. So that's why we can see the red instead of the yellow. But we can change that if we're so inclined by using priorities. So we come into the plugins view and we raise the priority by 1. Save, and now it overwrites the lower priority style against the Project View Enhanced. But we don't want that, so let's put the priority back to 0. Okay, now let's color up the rest of our folders. I often like to make code green. That looks pretty good. Got to make it recursive. Done. Let's do the same for content. I like orange. Recursive. Done. And we'll make scenes red. Looking pretty good. Alright. Let's suppose that you have a number of different asset folders and you want to give them unique icons. Easy to do. Create a folder style, come into the icons, and let's filter by assets. And you can see here there are different icons for all the different asset types. You can either get them with the default background, which works for both light and dark themes. We can get them with the colored backgrounds, also works with both themes. Let's go with the audio icon. Okay, and again we can match the label color, make it recursive. Okay, not bad. Let's do the same for the others. Alright, done. Looking pretty good. Now, all of these styles exist somewhere, and that somewhere is called the style sheet. You can access the style sheet again in the menu by going to the style sheet button. And this will take us to the asset that by default will be included with the plugin in the plugins folder, and that's the style sheet asset. And you can see here on the right, here are all the styles that we created. Now, just in case for some reason you lose the style sheet, say it gets deleted, number one, you'll see error messages in the console letting you know that it's missing, and then you can create a new one just by right clicking, going to create, PVE, and choose style sheet. And it can exist anywhere, the plugin would automatically find it, but it's often easiest just to have it under the plugin folder. And this makes it easy too, that if you ever create a new project and just want to copy the styles across, you can just delete the style sheet that's there, copy the existing one from a previous project, and Bob's your uncle. Okay, next, let's see what else we can do with styling through the style sheet. Now, a few things to see here. First of all, we can search and filter. Okay, and we can clear that with the X button over here. Secondly, let's say we want to find the style for just one of the folders. We want to see which style is applying to materials. Okay, drag it over here, drop it onto here, into the little asset drop down, and now it's filtered by that asset ID. Easy. Clear that. We can also do the same thing in the menu by going find applied folder style, and it's now filtered by that. Now this one's very helpful because let's say we're confused, as an example, why is it the red? I don't understand. Well, easy. Find applied style. Right, this is the style that's applied to it. Alright, next. All of these styles you can see are matching by ID. So these are the asset IDs of the folder that they're against. Now, we can click on the magnifying glass to be shown where this exists. So it's now pointing out the plugins folder is this ID. We can also, if we wanted to, let's say we want to target MISC instead of the plugins folder. We can drag it here to the asset Dropbox, and now it's targeted to that. But let's put plugins back on there. I prefer that style over there. Okay, now we can also do two other kinds of matching rules. Number one, we can match by path. So let's say we want to make the engine folder here blue. Okay, first of all, let's choose a blue icon, match the color, give it a background so we can easily see it. Okay, now let's change the matching mode to path. Now, nothing's happening right now, but let's type in the path that we can see in the project view, assets code engine. Now, nothing happening yet, but that's because there's already a rule against it with the same priority at a higher point, which is overriding it. Or in fact, I should clarify, the rules of precedence are that ID matching rules get first priority, and rules matched by path and name get second priority. Basically, the more specific and targeted a rule is, the higher a priority it has. Okay. Let's see, what were we doing? That's right, we need to raise the priority by 1, and now we can see that path rule has applied. Now, let's showcase the other matching rule, name. Okay, well, we've given something away. Let's hide it for a moment. And let's make this one a bright pink color and match. Okay. Now let's say we want to apply this rule to all folders which start with CO or which have CO in them. This is a substring rule, and the way it works is that any text that is here, any folders that contain that text will have this style applied. So if we type CO here and then raise the priority so that it overrides things, we can see that, well, because recursive is ticked, not only has it applied to everything with CO, it's also applied to everything underneath those folders. Let's turn that off. That's better. Now it's just applying to all the folders of CO. But let's make it more specific. Let's just make the Wearsoft folder look like that. Here we go. We've done that by name, and we can see it here. And we can even make that recursive. Now, it's overriding the red rule. Why is that? That is because the red rule has a priority of 0, and this rule has a priority of 1. So we better raise that up. Okay, everything's now in order. Good. So we've styled things up. Very colourful. Bit of a rainbow. Alright, next feature. This happens to be the reason I originally made this plugin, because it was something that frustrated me about the project view. And that was, let's say I have a folder with a number of assets in it. Some animations, some songs, some materials. What frustrated me is they sort alphabetically. I wanted the materials to be grouped together, the audio grouped together. Makes things easy to look at. Now, one way I could have done that is by using a naming convention, put material in the front of material names and so on, but I didn't really like the idea of that. It's useless text, it's annoying to look at, not my cup of tea. So, the first thing that Project View Enhanced can do is it can sort the project view. Now, the hierarchy refers to the left view here, and the list refers to the right view here. Or if we're in one column mode, the hierarchy refers to the whole view. So, let's go to sort list by, and by default it's on name, which is the Unity default. And then let's change it to type then name instead. And there we go. They're now nicely sorting according to their type. And we can do the same as mentioned in the hierarchy view. We see it's not happening yet. Easy to fix. Type the name without extension. Now the reason there's a without extension option is because under the hood these file names obviously have an extension on them as well, and you may or may not want that to be included in the value that they sort by. It can have an effect on sorting in certain particular circumstances, but we won't worry too much about what they are. You're more than welcome to find them yourself. Now, let's see, what's next? So that's sorting. After sorting, well, let's show you row shading. 2-column layout. So, by default the background of the project view is a flat color, but if we want to, we can make it a little easier to look at with a number of options. This is the lightest one. We can now see the rows are separated from each other visibly. Personally, I'm more into a soft touch. Let me show you the darker one first though. So that's the other extreme. I, however, like something subtle, so I often use just dark. Just visible. Nice. Okay. Final feature. Columns. So, if we go here, go into columns, we have a few options. We can choose to see the file size. May or may not be useful to you. We can also choose to see the asset type. And let's also see the asset details, which in this case is telling us how long the animations are and how long the audio is. Okay, not bad. Looks good. Alright. In addition to those column options, in project settings, as mentioned, there's a few options to do with the sizing of columns. Let's say we want them to take up less space. Well, we can shrink this. There you go, they take up less space. Put that back. Sorry, got to put a dot in there. Okay, another option is the name width limit, and this controls how much maximum space this left name column will take up. Supposing we want it to be smaller, we can come in here and lower it. And then you can see the columns fill out to take up the space. But that's a little small for my tastes, and I don't feel we need it turned on. Okay, so those, I believe, are all the things that Project View Enhance can do. You've had the tour. Thank you for watching. I look forward to hearing your feedback, whether you find the asset helpful, anything that you think might be worth adding, and so on. And thank you for watching.